Here's Clark. Wow! You bet! From beyond the logo! And a little point afterward.
Stop scrolling. Because what just happened on an NBA broadcast was something no one expected. A 22-year-old WNBA rookie sat down next to NBA legends and started breaking down the game like a veteran analyst. Not simple commentary. Not generic takes. But high-level basketball analysis that made Hall of Famers nod in agreement. Within minutes, social media exploded with one question. Wait, is Caitlin Clark actually better at analyzing basketball than the pros? And the moment it happened? It wasn't on a small podcast. It was live, in prime time, inside Madison Square Garden. Tonight, we're breaking down the moment that shocked the basketball world, and why networks, players, and executives suddenly see Caitlin Clark as the future of sports media. On February 1st, NBC relaunched one of its most iconic broadcasts, Sunday Night Basketball. And to make the return historic, they chose the biggest stage in sports, Madison Square Garden. The matchup? The Los Angeles Lakers versus the New York Knicks. But the biggest headline of the night wasn't on the court. It was sitting at the analyst desk, right next to legends like Carmelo Anthony, Reggie Miller, and Vince Carter. And for many viewers, seeing a WNBA player analyzing NBA basketball on this stage felt unexpected. But what happened next changed the entire conversation.
University of Iowa guard Caitlin Clark, smashing records and captivating fans across the nation.
To understand why NBC made this move, you have to understand what Caitlin Clark has done to the sport of basketball. While playing for the Iowa Hawkeyes women's basketball, Clark became the highest-scoring player in NCAA Division I history in 2024, breaking the record previously held by Pete Maravich. Her game shattered television ratings. The 2024 NCAA Women's Championship became the most-watched basketball game in the United States that year, men's or women's. Then came the next milestone, the 2024 WNBA Draft. Clark was selected number 1 overall by the Indiana Fever. And instantly, everything changed. WNBA attendance surged. Merchandise sales exploded. National broadcasts broke records. But NBC wasn't just thinking about basketball. They were thinking about the future of media.
Clark, she fires, and it goes!
Legacy sports networks face a major problem. Their audience is aging. For decades, pre-game shows were built around retired players telling stories from the past. But modern fans consume sports differently. Highlights, short clips, social media debates, and personality-driven analysis. NBC executives realized something important. The next generation doesn't just want analysis. They want voices they already trust. And right now, few athletes command more attention than Caitlin Clark. Her fanbase stretches across WNBA fans, NBA fans, college basketball fans, even casual viewers who rarely watch sports. NBC didn't just invite Clark onto the broadcast. They built the broadcast around her presence.
It took place in December of 2026. Caitlin, I'm just curious because you said that this moment right now is one of the biggest moments the WNBA has ever seen.
Then the broadcast started. And within minutes, Clark began breaking down the game. Not with generic commentary, but with detailed basketball strategy. She discussed off-ball movement, pick-and-roll coverage, floor spacing, shot creation angles. Topics normally reserved for elite coaches and veteran analysts. And something remarkable happened. The former NBA stars sitting beside her started agreeing, nodding, even asking for her perspective. For many viewers, it was the first time they realized something. Caitlin Clark's basketball IQ is on another level.
Growing up, some called it pig, some called it horse. It's a kid's game. Today, we're calling it NBC.
Before the broadcast even began, NBC filmed a lighthearted segment. A game of horse between Clark and former NBA star Jamal Crawford. At first it looked like a simple promotional clip, until Clark lost the first round. Most guests would laugh it off. But Clark had a different response. According to NBC producers, she immediately turned to the crew and said, "Best of 3. The segment wasn't scheduled that way. But Clark refused to leave the set after one loss. That moment told producers everything they needed to know. Her competitiveness wasn't an act. It was real.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Enjoy. Wade finds James! Grab that.
The Lakers-Knicks broadcast drew over 4.5 million viewers across NBC and Telemundo, making it the most-watched Sunday night regular season NBA game since 2002, excluding opening night and Christmas. For NBC executives, the message was clear. The experiment worked. But what shocked insiders wasn't just the ratings. It was the reaction online. Basketball fans weren't debating the game. They were debating Caitlin Clark's analysis.
On Vince Carter, the reimagination of VC immediately following the game on Sportsnet East, Ontario, and Pacific.
Within hours, basketball personalities began reacting. Some praised her insight. Others were surprised by how comfortable she looked in the studio environment. Even Clark's teammate, Sophie Cunningham, later joked on her podcast, "She looked like she's been doing TV for 10 years. Meanwhile, Aaliyah Boston posted on Instagram, "What can't she do?" The reactions weren't just supportive. They were curious. Because suddenly, Caitlin Clark wasn't just the face of the WNBA. She was becoming something bigger. A cross-league basketball voice.
Let's get back to Nike, though. I gotta ask some questions because I'm such a huge sneaker fan. You said that you're wearing the new kicks.
For decades, NBA and WNBA media lived in separate worlds. Separate broadcasts. Separate audiences. Separate conversations. But Caitlin Clark's appearance blurred that line. For the first time, a WNBA superstar was analyzing NBA games in prime time. And doing it with credibility. For casual NBA viewers who had never watched a WNBA game, it sparked curiosity. If she understands the game this well, maybe her games are worth watching too. That's the real genius of NBC's move. It doesn't just promote Clark. It connects the entire basketball ecosystem. Most athletes wait until retirement to build media careers. Clark is doing it at 22 years old. While still in the early stages of her WNBA career, she already has partnerships with major companies like Nike and Comcast. And Comcast happens to own NBC. Meaning this collaboration isn't random. It's strategic. Clark isn't just building a playing career. She's building a media empire at the same time.